When we talk about some of the greatest Kenya TV queens, it would be a sin not to mention the name Esther Arunga. In the 2000s, she gained a reputation as the most promising TV journalist.
It took me a week of getting hired before I gathered courage to go and speak to Esther Arunga, because in my head she was a little goddess.
Correct. There's lots of young ladies out there who always looked up to Esther Arunga and said, you know what, when I grow up, I want to be her. You were the poster girl.
And a darling of Kenyan television, because everyone was a huge fan of Esther Arunga, darling of the nation. She could do no wrong. Huh?
However, it's a personal life that has dominated recent headlines. So what happened to Esther Arunga? What made her sue her parents? Was she an accomplice to her son's murder? And is it true that she once belonged to a cult? Brace yourself for some ugly stuff, you all.
I found out from a Freemason. A Freemason told me this information. They haven't been able to kill me. What can they do?
If you have a tendency to catch feelings easily, maybe this video is not for you and you might want to skip it. As for the rest of us, let's start digging into other people's business. Esther Arunga, also known as Esther Timberlake, was born on July 19, 1983 in Nairobi to Robert Arunga and Petronil Arunga. Esther, her twin brother as well as her 6 other siblings were brought up in a staunch Seventh-day Adventist family. Sadly, there isn't much information about her siblings. Upon completing elementary school, Esther Arunga joined Kenya High School. Later, she studied communication and law at the University of Wollongong in New South Wales, Australia. After returning home to Kenya, she completed a 1-year degree course at the Kenya School of Law, and in 2009 she was admitted to the bar. Her career in media began as a journalist and announcer at Capital FM. Soon after, she was hired as a news anchor and presenter by KBC. However, it's fair to say that KTN made her a star. While at KTN, she experienced a significant surge in popularity. She became a household name in the media industry with a captivating on-screen charisma and exceptional journalistic skills.
And that there was a look at the list of proposed ministries by the Orange Democratic Movement.
Her excellent performances would earn her the 2008 Chaguo Latinis Awards for the Best Teen Television Anchor and Presenter. In 2009, Esther Arunga joined a cult-like church, the Finger of God Church, founded by Joseph Hellon, a distant relative and a talented saxophonist.
Esther is actually my cousin.
Now, aligning herself with the Finger of God Church marked the beginning of her downfall.
Drama started right from there.
It was at this church that she met Wilson Malaba, a former church elder. After less than 3 months of dating, the two got engaged in October 2009. 2 months before their wedding, which was planned for April 2010, Esther Arunga decided to call it off. According to Wilson Malaba, their relationship turned sour when Esther met Quincy Timberlake. However, Esther told Jeff Koinange that she left Wilson Malaba after discovering he was a Freemason.
My choice of being with Quincy came after I'd broken up with Wilson. Before, Quincy was just a member of the church.
Do you know who they are?
Oh yeah, well, Wilson is one of them. I got a message directly from the Freemason Lodge in the UK on the 15th telling me I'm very lucky I escaped.
So who is Quincy Zuma Wambita Timberlake? When and where did he meet Esther? Just a few weeks before Esther's wedding in April 2010, Quincy Timberlake, a childhood friend and former primary school deskmate of Joseph Hellon, joined the Finger of God Church. Quincy had just returned from the country from the US. According to Hellon, Esther and Timberlake fell in love the moment they laid eyes on each other.
Quincy Timberlake, he was my deskmate.
Oh, really?
Yes. The day he moved in, Esther drives in her nice black BMW. And he looks at Esther and says, wow, it's you. And Esther says, yeah, it's me. So I'm here looking at both of them like this. And saying, this guy just hit the ground running at the parking lot. Yeah. And at that time, Esther was engaged to Wilson Malaba to be married in April. So I said, but Esther, you're in a relationship.
Her parents advised her to break off the relationship with Quincy because they were unhappy with it. In an act of rebellion, she fled home to live in Hellon's church-owned mansion in Runda. The very month that she called off her engagement to Malaba, Esther, Hellon and Quincy announced the formation of the Placenta Party of Kenya, with Hellon as its presidential candidate, Esther as his deputy, and Quincy as the chairman. She resigned from KTN the same day.
it's time to officially announce to the Fourth Estate that the Placenta Party of Kenya Manifesto 2010 is being launched today.
That night, Esther alongside Hellon, Timberlake and 6 other members would be arrested and charged for alleged involvement in cult-like activities at the Finger of God Church. However, the court would acquit all the accused for lack of evidence, but Timberlake remained in custody on suspicion of unlawfully entering the country. After her release, her parents took her to Chiromo Medical Center for Mentally Ill People. Upon completion of the treatment, her parents brought her home. There she would constantly communicate with Quincy, who was still behind bars. Despite her parents' strong opposition, Esther and Quincy tied the knot on March 3, 2010, while Quincy was still in custody. She even told her family that she would never make peace with them until the day they accepted Quincy as her husband and their in-law.
I'm married and happy and comfortable with my husband, Quincy Timberlake.
The same day Esther announced her marriage to Quincy, she sued her parents and her psychiatrist, Dr. Frank Jenga, for portraying her as a crazy person. In a lawsuit, she sought damages of 300 million Kenyan shillings.
I did this in conjunction with my parents, who unfortunately I am forced to sue as well, and I will not be seeking less than 300 million shillings for unlawful detention, unlawful sedation.
She later dropped the charges. The relationship between Hellon and Quincy would end when, according to Hellon, he discovered that Quincy was a conman. He even revealed that the placenta party idea was Quincy's and there was nothing serious about it. The move was nothing more than a smokescreen to distract the public from the controversies that surrounded the trio at that time.
Okay, that was not really my idea. That was Quincy's idea. I was not really going to run. I was testing the waters. So, of course, Quincy came up with that particular name to create greater controversy. And I left the placenta party. I never really agreed with the name. But at that particular time, we needed to operate as one team because we had common issues. We were sued in court and we needed to fight these battles as one team.
He wanted Esther to leave Quincy because he believed Quincy had cast a spell on her. This only led to a fallout with Arunga.
Quincy, I will emphasize, where he beats everybody is that he uses supernatural witchcraft power. Urogi.
In an email sent to Citizen TV in 2014, Esther wrote, "Nowadays, I think apart from being extremely naive, Onyango was using a strong charm on me. I just could not see any evil in him and I humbly accepted to be his spiritual daughter." She continued by saying, "My husband has never hidden the fact that he used to be a Freemason. My husband turned his life around and started serving the true God Jehovah." As soon as Quincy Timberlake was released from prison, the Timberlake family left Kenya for Australia in 2012. The couple felt Kenya had become a dangerous place for them. Fortunately, Esther became an Australian citizen. Furthermore, she got a job as a barrister at the Supreme Court of New South Wales. A few years later, the couple would be blessed with 3 children, Cynthia and 2 girls. After her 3rd child was born, Esther quit her job. On June 17, 2014, the couple found themselves in the headline again when their 3-year-old son Cynthia died under suspicious circumstances. Arunga called the emergency service and lied that the boy had fallen down the stairs while playing with his sister, but the autopsy report revealed that Cynthia died after being hit with a blunt object on the chest.
But an autopsy report indicated the boy died after being hit with a blunt object on the chest.
3 weeks later, when her husband was in a mental hospital, Esther Arunga dropped a bombshell. In a confession to the police, she stated that on June 17, 2014, she went to the bathroom only to find her husband hitting Cynthia in the stomach and then throwing him against the wall. Quincy told her that the child was possessed and he was trying to expel demons and aliens from him. She admitted that she lied to the police to protect her husband. "I was terrified of being alone and I felt terrible because my husband was sick as well," confessed Esther. Quincy Timberlake was charged with the murder of his son Cynthia. He pleaded not guilty. Arunga was charged with the accessory to murder for her involvement in the cover-up. She pleaded guilty and was sentenced to 10 months in prison but was released on parole. The news of Esther Arunga's sentence was not well received by Quincy's mother, Rosemary Gwambita, as she believed it was lenient. Further, she stated that Esther never married her son out of love, but rather for money. Now that she had milked him dry, she decided to betray him.
And you see, Arunga is a lady that she didn't marry love. She married.
Even shockingly, the mother revealed that Quincy already had a wife and 3 kids when he met Esther Arunga.
By the way, the boy is having a wife. She's called Rose, my namesake. The boy is having 3 sons and the lady is struggling with children. I heard that they are just in the street because of Arunga.
Esther Arunga completed her parole in September 2020. The same month, on September 17th, a fake Esther Arunga Twitter account asked for forgiveness from Kenyans. The tweet read, "Kenyans, forgive me. My parole is over and it's time to come back home. I have suffered enough. No one should be ashamed of starting afresh. To everyone who wronged me, I forgive you all. Kindly accept me back." The tweet was immediately flooded with likes, retweets, quotes and replies from many people, even approved accounts, who were sympathetic and pleaded with Esther to return home. This showed that despite all her problems, Esther Arunga will always be a darling to the majority of Kenyans who watched her deliver the news on their TV screens. Esther has largely remained out of the public eye, and her current endeavors or aspirations are unclear. However, based on the information available, she still resides in Australia. Her life story serves as a cautionary tale about the dangers of cults and making poor choices. So would you like to see Esther Arunga back in the country? Let us know your thoughts in the comment section. Don't forget to follow us on TikTok and subscribe to our YouTube channel if you haven't already. It really helps. Stay safe and we will see you in our next upload. Bless.
Esther Arunga, you can't make this stuff up.